channeling a spell. This is going to be a Fire Raga. It doesn't kill somehow, and it kills Naiads to land a kill. Oh my god! Here, apparently not, because she is going for the back line. This is instant casting. Might have a chance. What is up, everybody? My name is Kason. Welcome back to the WDL. This is Season 4, Week 8 of the Heindler League. We've got five awesome fights for you guys this week. We've got 4 Week 8 fights and 1 Week 7 fight. I'll get to that in just a little bit. But let's take a look at the standings. We've got 3 teams right up at the top. Xeno, Impaler, and King, all only with 2 losses at the moment, looking very impressive all season. Now you're going to note that Xeno and Impaler both have 8 wins, whereas King only has 7. That is because over these last couple weeks, Xeno and Impaler both have a bye, essentially, or a forfeit win over one of the teams who already dropped out of the league. King already received those forfeit wins, so he has 2 actual fights remaining. So that is how that works. Taking a look at the top 3 seeds. Xeno and Impaler. Xeno won the head-to-head tiebreaker in week number 1, so he wins that head-to-head tie if they end up with the same record overall. King also beat Impaler head-to-head, so Impaler has the worst tiebreaker of these 3 teams. So on the outside, it would look as if these 3 teams won out. Impaler would be the 3 seed. However, not all 3 teams can win out because Xeno and King battle next week, which means Xeno does not play this week. If Impaler wins this week, he will guarantee himself a top 2 seed in a first round bye. If he loses, he has a chance to fall quite a bit in terms of the standings. King, if he wins this week, would set up a situation where the winner of him versus Xeno next week will get the first seed overall. However, if he loses, he could fall a bit as well due to some of the tiebreakers against some of these other teams. Now, this is the interesting part, the juicy part. So as of right now, shown in the standings, I've got Daewn listed at 7-3. This is the graphic that I used last week. It's also a graphic in error because I have an 0-1 tiebreaker here. This is a mistake. It shouldn't be there, but regardless, he's shown at 7-3. This is because I gave him a forfeit win over Odaiba last week because their match came in late. However, it actually didn't come in late. It came in by the time I allowed them to come in by, but I had already set the video to upload, and then I went to bed, and by the time I realized the fight was there, the video was already uploaded, and I wasn't going to take it down. So we actually have the Odaiba versus Daewn fight, and I'm going to start the video with that before we get into the Week 8 fight. So just keep that in mind. These standings are the graphic I showed last week. If Daewn wins, it stays the same. If Odaiba wins, it does change. So just keep that in mind, you guys. Kyouma, coach of S.E.E.S at a 6-3 record. Odaiba, coach of Odaiba Diving School at 6-3. They actually face off against each other in this week's fight, which should be really interesting. Regardless of what happens in the Daewn Odaiba fight, the winner of this would make playoffs no matter what. And LucianRamz faces off against Daewn. So depending on how these fights go, it's going to be really damn interesting. The 3 teams trying to play spoiler, though, are Moggenman, Dr. Dickhead, and Snark. Moggenman does not play this week. He does play next week, though, guys. So we've got 5 fights in total. The first one will be from last week, and the next 4 will be from this week. Before we jump into them, I just wanted to say thank you so much to all these YouTube members. Special shout out to Kells, one of our brand new YouTube members, our newest one. Actually, these are 22 people who support the channel with their hard-earned money, and I just want to say thank you to all these people who do that. Without further ado, let's get into the fights. Next up, we've got Odaiba Diving School versus Inquisition, coached by Daewn here, and it looks like Daewn is running his triple axe team of Halloween Lucio, Summer Killfae, and the Cyrell here. So the physical barrier is ready for Lucio as he starts to walk forward. Cyrell rocking 10,000 HP, gonna go with the Wind Veritas TMR, hoping that is enough against these missile units on the other side. And this is a team from Odaiba we've seen put in so much work. Domain of Earth coming out from the Rugia. These 2 missile gunner units on the opposite side while the tank is close is good news for Odaiba. One thing I will say though, giving some hope to Daewn here, Titus, great physical tank, except against slash damage. He is very weak to it normally, and triple slash on the other side could be bad news, as it looks like Sleeper Sweep coming out from the Lucio. 5,200 damage is a really good start. Summer Killfae, can she just clean him up right here? Twisting Shield Breaker is going to, or removes the courage, and Titus is gone immediately. These 2 missile units are going to have to put in so much damage. And the other question is, do they have the barrier break? Do they have the accuracy for this Lucio? As double resist is going to come out from the Cyrell. Alaya going next. Plenty of AP, 67. What does she get done? Hail of Bullets is going to miss. The defense piercing rate goes up, but she does not land on the Halloween Lucio, and he is going to find the limit break, King of the Dead, giving himself some haste. And I think this is pretty much probably all over for Odaiba here. This missile gunner team has been really, really impressive, but Daewn is in great shape to try and win this one, as it looks like Summer Killfei going with the limiter off, agility up. That is the Lucia TMR, as Umber Bombardment comes out for 4,600. Rupture coming in for another 2,400. Good damage by the Rugia, but this is still a full HP Halloween Lucio. He's going to go next, and I think he is just going to end this here. A sleeper sweep is going to double kill both gunner units, and that is a very impressive victory by Daewn in Inquisition. All right, guys, the first battle of Week 8 for the Heindler League is King, coach of Kansas City Kings, versus Snark and Arise from the Crashes. King looking to try and get in that top 2 spot for a first-round bye. It's going to be tight, though. A lot of good teams right around that area, as it looks like S.E.E.S is going to go with the Puppet Master to kick things off. This is not a team that I think we've seen before from King, at least that I can remember. Maybe it's come out, but I'm not entirely sure about that. S.E.E.S gets the Courage online for both her and the Moor. And it looks like Esther is ready for Snark on the other side as he clicks the auto button. Magnetic Force coming out, area attack resist in the physical shield. Not going to do a whole lot in terms of the magic on the other side, though. It looks like King might have made a really good call against Esther, as she does drop the magic very quickly. Keenblade coming out from the Hio, though. Don't count this Greatsword team out, as it looks like Marguerite, with some quickens, could make sure that they put in a lot of work here. As Calamity Guard coming out, but more not with a supportive AI. It does end up a little weird sometimes because she walks forward as she uses this buff. So she actually doesn't catch herself with it. She uses it on Amnelis instead of Shells, where she could have hit basically all 3. But Rite of Safe Passage coming out from the Shells with Protect, with Barrier, with all of this stuff. AoE resist, I expect them to be pretty bulky here. And we'll see if these 2 Greatsword units can really break through, as Amnelis is going to go with Jealous Wrath with a chance to Berserk. Giga TMR coming in here, as the Quicken is going to land onto Hio. And how much damage can he get done? He's going to come in. He's going to start off with the Limit Break. This, I believe, is a chaining attack, if I can remember. I believe it's 3 hits. We're going to have to find out. Yes, that's a triple hit onto both the Moor and the Amnelis, with the elemental disadvantage. Not dealing a ton. Honestly, a decent amount to the Moor, actually, as she is at about half health at the moment. Esther might just be able to clean her up. No, she apparently can't reach, as she's just going to go for a momentum. She does not have the range to kill this Moor, and that is bad news for Hio, as Bursting Light's going to deal 4,400 damage. Shells, are they low enough to go for a heal? Yes, they are. Knight's Blessing going to come through, and now a 3-hit barrier is going to be hard to get through for Snark here, as Amnelis is going to start channeling a spell, but both of these units get a chance to act before. Burning Drive coming out. A decent amount of damage onto the Moor and the Shells. Amnelis soaking up pretty well, but Esther needs to put in work here. She is up next. She's going to go Bunny Bolt Blitz. This is the Limit Break. Can it land a kill on 1 or 2 of these units? I say that. The Courage is online for a couple. It does proc the Courage for more. It doesn't proc it for the Shells. But with healing power down, the heal back doesn't deal a ton, but Ternary Seal gets a double Berserk. And okay, I quit is probably a proper name at this moment, as when that happens, I don't think there's much you can do here, as Guard Haste is going to come out. Bursting Light is going to take down the Hio, and a Berserked Esther might be able to standard attack for a lot of damage, but she's not going to get a chance to do much else, as Amnelis is going to go next. The heal from the Shells, Curative Prayer, does very little, actually, as Esther's just going to cut this Moor in half. Hold on a second, guys. If Marguerite could pull off some damage here, this might not be over, but Ternary Seal is going to dunk her before she even has a chance. And that is a win for the Kansas City Kings and King, who are now 8-2 on the season. Next up, we've got the Knobgoblins versus 3-Legged Pants. Impaler searching for one of those first-round buys, and Dr. Dickhead looking to try and play spoiler, as it looks like the units, I think, are on the same side of the map here. We've got double Katana Raychez plus Astrius with Salir in the back. Haste TMR immediately for Astrius. His Vistral's just going to walk forward, gets the counter, but dodges the counter, lands a paralysis onto Astrius, and this fight is kicking off immediately. Jamming Thrust coming out from the Addison Ray for almost 5k here, as Salir is going to go next. She should be in range for a Bolt Surge. She gets guaranteed hits in her first few turns, and that is huge, as the Bolt Surge just immediately crushes that Vistral. That paralysis, though, putting in work. Has he already done his job as Counterman slash one-shots the Addison Ray? This fight is very high octane to start. Balo off in the corner says, bro, guys, like, where did my team go? I'm finally starting to act here as Immortal Spirit pops off. But this is a 3v1 advantage for Impaler here and Three-Legged Pants, and that is a three-legged team coming over to kill this Balo as Kurata comes out from the Solir onto the S.E.E.S and 3 fully healthy units. Balo, you might be a really good SR unit, but I don't think you stand a chance here, bud, as S.E.E.S is going to go next. Can he reach a cross destruction? Yeah, he can. His range is insane. Procs the courage onto Balo, but you're going to need more than a little bit of courage to come back from this here as Swornade's Pride win. The Wind Veritas TMR happens now after almost everybody is dead on the other side as Sapping Sword coming out from the Balo trying to heal himself up, but S.E.E.S is going to claim a kill here. Super Balo has yet to spawn, so Arm Shot will come through. He's going to drop, and he's going to come back to try his damnedest. But Rachez, how much damage can she get on him? Does he go next with the agility up? No. The answer is no. He doesn't get to act yet as Sustaining Slash. That is a new damage record. That is 100% a new damage record. Guys, that was like 18,000 that Rachez just did to him. What the hell? That was insane. I'm sorry, I gotta see that real quick. 8,000 and 10,000. That is 100% a new damage record for the WDL. So congratulations to Rachez and Impaler. That was insane. That fight was just absolutely wild. Obviously, for Dr. Dickhead's side, unfortunate that he spawned on the same side of the map. I think he wanted to be on the other side. Getting rid of some of those guaranteed hits on the first turns of Solir would have been nice, but unfortunate he started on the same one. But that's kind of how she goes sometimes. So GG's and congratulations to Impaler. 2 fights left this week, guys, and both of them with massive implications for playoffs here, as it looks like Kyouma versus Odaiba, S.E.E.S versus Odaiba Diving School. Kyouma bringing out Tyrell, Lucio, and Summer Glassy versus the double Gunner plus Titus team we've seen from Odaiba. This team has been really impressive all season, finally did take a loss, but can it get back onto the winning column here? If Odaiba wins, he will officially claim a playoff spot. If he loses, LucianRamz has a chance to pass him up as Keenblade coming out from the Tyrell. CT up and slash attack up. He's going to start moving forward. Titus, excuse me, not Tyrell, on the other side. Immortal Spirit, so has the courage, and it is tank versus tank with the DPSs closing in on both sides. So this is an interesting position for both. Divine Power coming out from the Tyrell with that elemental chain res and the healing power and debuff can actually deal with a bit of damage as long as it's not magic damage. We'll have to see here as Alaya is going to go next. What can she find? It's the Sharpshoot, and I say that actually did a ridiculous amount of damage to that Tyrell. This poor guy is about to die very, very quickly as Spread Blast is going to take him out, and it looks like the tank not doing their job as they don't draw the attacks. Tyrell drew the attacks. Store coming out from Lucio is ready to deal damage, but this is a 3v2 advantage for Odaiba and gets the physical barrier online, which is big. But does she go ebb and flow? Could she steal it? Yes, she can. 1,800, so now that barrier is gone. She gets her own one-hit barrier, which could be crucial. Alaya does have a barrier break in her kit, though. Is she going to go for it? Sharpshoot comes out for only 1,000. That one-hit barrier is gone, but it did its job. Rulgia would now with 52 AP. They are running out quickly as Umber Bombardment for 3,900 and the Rupture dealing good damage. This Rulgia kind of carrying. But do they have enough AP to get through this as Surge Strike is going to proc the courage onto Titus? What can he get done? Can he heal a little bit of back? Can he drain it back from the other side? No, he's going to go for Blade Bash instead, which actually procs the heal back onto Summer Glassy. She is now a full HP bar. Summer Glassy and Lucio versus these 2 gunner units. Do they have enough in the tank to kill them? 38 AP for Alaya. Gonna go with the Limit Break. Guns of the Dragon Princess. This needs to put in a lot of work because she's going to be basically standard attacking from this moment. Does immobilize, which could be pretty crucial. Dropping the ice stack resistance is nice as well, as Rulgia needs to back up. Dual Disruptor, 4,800 after the 2 hits, and another Rupture is added up to about 7k. That's a really good start. Light Blessing from the Lucio, unable to deal damage. These gunner units need to back up as they deal damage. Steel Heart coming out from the Summer Glassy. That is not something I expected to see in this fight, as Alaya with the Dark Mega Flare, Dark Bahamut, so doesn't go with the auto attack, puts the map effect in place, but smartly gets herself out of position. Arm Shot and the Rupture is enough to proc the courage on Summer Glassy. Crucially for Kyouma, that first hit didn't proc it, or else the follow-up would have killed, but Scintillating Eclipse is scintillating for Kyouma, as he is just going to demolish that Rulgia. And now I think that is the courage and HP recovery on for Summer Glassy again. So the standard attack is going to proc the courage. She was already at 1 HP and she just says, you know what? I'm going to heal myself right back up. And now this looks like there might have a chance for Odaiba. I don't know how he's going to pull that off unless he gets multiple reflexes. Alaya, though, with 30 AP, I say that she might be able to deal a good amount of damage. With the map effect on, this could hurt. What is she going to find? Hail of Bullets. It does not do nearly enough. 2,600 only to the Lucio. Should be able to come in with a crescentic break and end things. And Kyouma heading to the playoffs with this victory. OdaibaDiver is now currently sitting at 6-4, which means the next fight is going to be very, very impactful for the standings. If LucianRamz wins, it's going to come down to the final week to see who makes it. However, if he loses, OdaibaDiver will claim a playoff spot. So he is watching this last fight intently. That was a really good one between these two players, though, and a huge congratulations to Kyouma. Last fight of the week here for the Heindler League. LucianRamz's playoff hopes on the line. Puts his favorite unit, Shadowlynx, out there to try and win. Illusion coming out alongside the Elshra and the Vivi. Halloween Lucio, Cyrell, and Summer Kilfay on the other side for Dawn, running the Axe team. There's a bit of evasion on both sides. Interesting to see how this will go, but Vivi walking forward, putting himself a little bit in harm's way, is a bit scary. Aurora of Blessings coming out from the Summer Kilfay, going to get that dark and light resistance up, which is huge. Will this Vivi be able to live through this? I think he will, though, as it looks like Cyrell's going to go concentration. Summer Kilfay wasn't able to reach, so they should be in good shape here. As Guard Haste is going to go onto the Shadowlynx. Can she reach damage? No, she's going to go Padfoot, and this is a little bit strange. I think that was a mistake by LucianRamz in how he was trying to set that up. She goes for her own Haste TMR as the Guard Haste coming out from the Elshra. Not entirely sure what happened there, as the Limit Break coming out from Halloween Lucio is going to give himself haste, removing Protect, and Vivi is chunked. Does get a little bit of a heal back, though, as Elshra is going to start channeling. I expect this to be a Quicken. No, it would be a Guard Haste, because we already saw her use Guard Haste before. Double Darka coming through, dealing good damage, removing the Re-Raise seal as well, as Frostwind Axe comes out, lands the Frostbite, but crucially not enough to kill the Vivi, as Cyrell is going to come in with a Constricting Cleave. 3,700 damage is going to kill the Vivi. And right now, I think LucianRamz was really hoping that this was a Quicken and not a Guard Haste, as that Quicken would allow Vivi to go up with a big old Limit Break on everybody, but not going to get the chance. A Shadow Tether, though, for the Lynx is going to take out the Summer Kilfay, but Halloween Lucio should be able to kill this Vivi here. He's going to go Vacuum Slash, guaranteed hit, and Shadowlynx is chunked. And Shadowlynx now going next with 71 AP. Hien coming out, gets through the barrier, but doesn't deal any damage to that Cyrell. Elshra, does she have full life in her kit? I think she's just channeling another haste to herself, as it looks like Cyrell is going to Stun Blade, has the accuracy to kill the Shadowlynx, and it is all but over here for LucianRamz. It looks like Dawn and Inquisition is probably going to take this win. Guard Haste coming out onto the Elshra. Halloween Lucio is going to go Ashen Seal. Very cool to see, as he is going to walk forward. Not a TMR that we've really seen, a zombie TMR. Going to try and stall this fight out a bit for Elshra. Cyrell just going to go concentration and says, hey, this is not a time to concentrate. This is a time to go kill that Elshra. She is going to go into offensive mode, though, it looks like. But Halloween Lucio, will she even get the chance? Vacuum Slash is going to take her out. The Re-Raise will come through, but whatever she was channeling is no more. Cyrell should be able to finish this fight off with a Constricting Cleave, and that is a win for Dawn and Inquisition, and I think even more importantly, a win for Odaiba, as he is going to clinch a playoff spot based on this result. I gotta be honest, guys, after watching that fight, I think this fight could have went very differently. The fact that the initial turn rotation came out, Elshra channeled a Guard Haste onto Shadowlynx, and Shadowlynx used a Haste TMR. My only guess is that LucianRamz somehow had the wrong move like turned on and off and meant to go Quicken. I feel like it makes perfect sense if the Quicken was going to land like with the Guard Haste, and then the Quicken would have landed on Vivi, which meant Vivi could have Limit Break the entire team, and I think very likely LucianRamz wins that fight if that's the case. So I don't know if that was a mistake by him, but a bit of a crippler, bit of a dagger for him, as Inquisition and Dawn are going to pick this up. And a huge congratulations to Dawn. All right, guys, heading into the final week, these are the standings for the Heindler League. And a few big things to note that I'm going to go over here. Impaler, coach of Three-Legged Pants, is currently sitting in first place because he is the best record overall. However, it's weird because he can't actually finish in first. It's impossible. The only seed that he can finish is second place, which honestly for him is huge because he gets a first round bye in the playoffs and will face off against the winner of the 3 versus 6 matchup. Now, Zeno and King, who are currently tied for second place, the winner of who wins that battle, they're facing off against each other next week. Whoever wins that will be the first seed. The reason is that both of those teams have beaten Impaler head to head. In any situation, we will have 2 9-2 teams, so that means the winner's first, Impaler is second. The loser, however, can finish anywhere between 3rd and 5th seed depending on who loses and who else, if Kyouma wins his final matchup. So not going to get into the hairiness of that, there's no point, but just keep in mind the loser will be somewhere between 3rd and 5th seed there. Daewn of Inquisition, currently sitting at an 8-3 record, can move, I think, up to 3 potentially, but he can't go anything lower than 5th. Kyouma, coach of S.E.E.S, can I know for sure get up to 3rd seed depending on how it goes. Again, can't go lower than 5th. And Odaiba Diving School, OdaibaDiver, is locked into the 6th seed no matter what. It does not matter whether he wins or loses next week against Dr. Dickhead, he is the 6th seed regardless. LucianRamz of Lone Shadows, heartbreak this week. He was doing real well early on in the season, but unfortunately, too many losses, is not able to crack that top 6, which means he will be sitting out of the playoffs this season, alongside Moggenman of Dirty Slushy, Dr. Dickhead of the Knobgoblins, and Snark of Arise from the Crashes. So next week, guys, we should have 4 awesome fights. We're going to have Zeno versus King, which I'm definitely saving for last because that is the battle for the 1st seed. We're going to have Kyouma versus LucianRamz, which honestly should be still a very good fight. Odaiba versus Dr. Dickhead. I'm hoping to see a little bit of spice from these 2 teams, as it doesn't matter a whole lot in terms of the standings. And Moggenman versus Snark should be another juicy one. So that's all we have for this week, guys, for the Heindler League. I hope you enjoyed the fights, and we'll catch you next time.